4 years of vaccine passports. Let's have a look. Hello everyone, Florian.heise here and welcome to another episode of HeiseSays. Grab your stein of coffee and let's look at this article written by Lucy Dent for Yahoo Finance. So vaccine passports in place for 4 years, according to tourism experts. What do you reckon? Would you take it up? It's concerning. I get the feeling this is all going to become an accepted way to discriminate against people in business and in the wider community. What do you think? I mean, if you want to allow people to discriminate against vaccinations, which we already do to some extent in this country, why don't we just remove all of these anti-discrimination laws and legislations to allow people the freedom to, discriminate as they choose? What do you think? I can't see that happening here in Australia. I think people will be too touchy-feely. But we'll have to see. Because if you think, but then businesses will discriminate against this group or that group, or this class will be marginalized, well, then those businesses won't survive. In a business where it's a competitive market environment, you should go for the best people. The biggest danger is this push for unnecessary quotas to lift up other groups, and then you end up with, affirmative action or positive discrimination, which is just another way of saying, racism or sexism. They're actually now legislating and requiring it. It's ludicrous. And you'll wonder why in these countries where more and more of this rubbish starts coming into the employment process, people offshore work. More bureaucracy, more government red tape, more BS. Anyway, let's jump back to this article. So proof of vaccination will likely be a mandatory requirement for travel for the next 3 or 4 years, a tourism expert has said. But beyond that, the future of travel is bright. 3 or 4 years, then it'll just become a cultural expectation, won't it? Can you hear what they're proposing in New South Wales? Rather than punishing people who are not vaccinated, making it easier for businesses to just accept people that are. Reducing the restrictions on restaurants or bars or nightclubs if you only accept vaccinated people. So, don't get me wrong. I have been vaccinated for many things. I'm a bit apprehensive. Well, I wouldn't say apprehensive. Lazy. Lazy. I haven't bothered to get vaccinated once for the flu. Rachel does it every year. I just can't be bothered. Honestly, it's just too much effort. I got to go to the doctor. I got to make an appointment. I got to get the stuff, and I'll just tough it out. I'll just roll the dice. But probably because of my age and my diet, I'm not that worried. There's no talk about that, is there? There's no talk about comorbidity risk factors that we can address ourselves. If you're interested, and one of them is being overweight. Look up Low Carb Down Under, guys. I've done videos about it. Look them up. Look up their YouTube channel and just spend a day binge watching their stuff. Because, that in many ways, that's a red pill for people to realize a lot of the opinions from experts that you get on what the government is putting forward may be out of date and completely incorrect. Because, for food, they've got it completely wrong. Anyway, back to this. I'm going off on story time again. So beyond that, the future of travel is bright, apparently. The changing face of travel means businesses with creativity and adaptability will survive, provided they present new opportunities for conscientious tourists. And head of knowledge management and innovation for Turismo de Portugal, Sergio Gurrioro, I butchered that, told Yahoo Finance. However, businesses without the ability to innovate will struggle as consumers demand more specialized experiences, safer considerations, and flexibility. What does any of that mean? How picky are we going to get? I don't believe that everything will change. I think we will move to a more polarized model. There will be a certain volume of tourists that will demand less crowded, unknown, clean places, he said, speaking ahead of the Pause Fest celebration of innovation in March. So thinking about opportunities for nature tourism, for beautiful places. We're actually been pushing for that in Portugal. Well, we've got a lot of that here in Australia. One of the things that, when you just go bushwalking around southeast Queensland, you see all these people from all over the world coming and visiting to go on these beautiful hikes. It's wonderful here. We've got so many wonderful places. The only thing that frustrates me is how expensive camping is. Even camping is getting more expensive. So, at the other end of the travel spectrum, there will still be high demand for business travel and more traditional tourism. Will there? He pointed to Italy, where in the days after the first lockdown, Venice's Piazza San Marco was full, as was the Duomo di Milan. We will have this polarization, which means that the destinations, and for the businesses, they need to be prepared to adapt their strategies. Additionally, businesses that fail to digitize risk not only will fall behind in terms of reaching tourists online, but also in aligning with national public health standards. Tourists and state authorities will be demanding evidence that their destinations are COVID safe. Now, this is the thing. You could catch an illness. We've seen it here. You could get the COVID or whatever at a location. Then they'll plaster it all through the news, and that can potentially destroy an entire business. You saw it with these gymnasiums. They're doing everything they can to mitigate this, cleaning and all this stuff. But no place is going to be 100% perfect. No place is going to be 100% safe. This is turning us all into a nation, a civilization, a species, frankly, of hypochondriacs. I mean, that's the businesses are going to be scared. Wait until they start telling their staff not to report it, to just go home, because the brand damage. Another risk factor in the retail game, guys. It'd be a nightmare. It's something that will have to be critical, he said. A lot of innovation will be needed because when COVID-19 is past, people will travel like crazy, but the experience destinations will be the first to recover. For now, the main challenge is optimizing businesses to survive until travel reopens. Well, that's going to be a nightmare here in Australia. You just look up the bankruptcy stats up the coast of Queensland. All those businesses there, personal insolvencies. Last year was the worst year in the history of international tourism, with the global industry losing an estimated $1.3 trillion in export revenue. And most experts believe international tourism won't return to 2019 levels until at least 2023. As he noted, not many industries can survive 18 months with less than 50% of their demand. I think a lot of work in building skill and helping companies survive in the coming years will be important, but I'm quite optimistic. Travel has become a value of society, not just a commodity, he explained, and as such, it's something that is needed as a civilization. For the industry, that means they need to upgrade their expectations. He's uniquely placed to comment on the future of travel, also working as chairman of the OECD Tourism Committee and having performed extended stints on the European Travel Commission and the WTO and the World Economic Forum. Oh, there you go. And Portugal itself has also been recognized as a tourism success story. The tourism sector pulled the economically troubled nation from the brink of collapse following the GFC. It also means Portugal has been hit hard by the pandemic, with chief economists at Banco BPI, Paula Carvalho, flagging a 12% hit to the 2020 GDP. However, he said Portugal's previous recovery has had three parts: the welcoming nature of Portuguese people, economic resilience, and again, innovation. Portugal survived 08 and 09 crisis, which was huge and had a huge impact internationally. And we've had another in 11 and 2012. And basically our industry showed its resilience, and that if we worked, we could keep growing in spite of economic crises, he said. And what really turned Portugal into a destination after the economic crisis was the ability of the Portuguese industry to design new products, design new experiences, bring new concepts, and we did quite well. And I seriously believe that this will be a key element for the recovery process for COVID-19. The founder of Pause Fest, George Hedden, agrees, adding that innovation now needs to be recognized as the key to success in all industries. Creativity has forever been the main driving factor of innovation. Board management is now understanding that they need to integrate it in every aspect of the business and not just keep it hostage in the creativity department, he told Yahoo Finance. What's really amazing about creativity is its X factor. It can take you down any road you want. Does anyone believe this crap? Okay, you know, creativity has to be the X factor throughout the whole business. Creativity has to be deployed to solve problems. That's what it is. And okay, you know, you can put it through the whole. There is no such thing as is there a creativity department? It's problem solving. It's finding new solutions. It's being innovative. Okay, I guess, you know. But I'm thinking of this from the perspective of an architect. That's what our creativity is. It's problem solving. You get a really sparse brief and you put it together. There's no creativity department that creates creativity. It's like people. Oh, what's it? You know, when people say they manage creatives, nothing pisses me off more when people say that. You know, creatives. No, you get a proper bloody job that has a role. You're not a creative. You know, creativity is in every job. I was talking to a lawyer yesterday, and he was saying, yeah, no, we have to be very creative in our industry. It's one of the most creative industries. The government creates all these stupid rules, and he gets rich finding ways for people to get around them. Very creative. There you go, lawyer. Okay, so what? Come on. I mean, this sounds just like a bunch of fluff. For people trying to talk up an industry, when you know the biggest takeaway is that you know you're going to have regulation, and you have to conform with the government standards that are required for you to keep operating. Portugal has thousands of great places to see, great restaurants to try, and they're not even digitized. So it's a world to build. Our community of innovators believes that everything is possible, so we should connect the dots and think about the consumer and how best to engage them. Now, here's the thing. One thing that's come out of all of this is those, you know, the bloody, what are those things that you scan on? I can't even remember what they're called, but they disappeared. Now they're all back and everywhere. Probably the lifeline for them. So there we have it, everyone. Vaccination passports for the next 4 years. What do you reckon? Take care. Let me know your thoughts and opinions in the comments down below. Are you planning a tourist trip? Or are you just going to stay at home and save your pennies? Because, you know, we just had a recession here in Australia. I don't think a lot of people are going to be rushing to travel, although a lot of people may want to get out, particularly from Danistan. Anyway, thanks for watching. Like, share, subscribe to the channel. If you're a fan and enjoy the content I create here, there are a few ways you can support us. You can join us on YouTube or Patreon. You can support us using our affiliate links from Amazon, eBay, Independent Reserve, or AussieBroadband. You can buy merch from HeiseSays, use Gold Pass from the Perth Mint, or support us via PayPal. Take care, everyone. Have a great day. I will see you in the next episode. Bye for now.